Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Greetings to everyone world over in all the continents, all the countries, to the entire universe. Power of self, power of being positive. Ladies and gentlemen, green morning, green afternoon, green evening to all our brothers and sisters across the globe. We are here yet with another very powerful Friday evening, 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and very early chilly morning in Canada. We are with our source, resource, Strot, and the searchlight and the gorgeous, the vision coming all the way from Canada, Shri Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji. We can also put Shri Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji. We will change it next time. CEO, the Kotamarti Group, who is joining us. And today is the 15th powerful program in the power of self, power of being positive. Every Friday, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to Canada. We enjoy, without paying any charges, anything of that sort. We get a business class ticket to travel. So imagine, yoga is being performed over here, yoga and meditation. Feel that you are there in Canada with Shri Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji. Excuse me. Today is International Day of Persons with Disabilities. We should not call disability special children. I think the United Nations also should change this definition. Take action, disability inclusion, women with disabilities, understanding disabilities, mobilize action, promote dignity, plan events, mainstream disability, organize forum, ensure equality, develop social policies, employment, inclusive education, social integration, advocate human rights, children who are special children or children with disabilities, empowerment, accessible healthcare, data collection, awareness rising, end stigma and stereotyping. That's what Dr. Chitra has given it to me for the evening. So God help all the children. Those are special children of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, we started this series after great marathon, mental marathon with Shri Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji on Friday, 27th of August. Believe in the power that is within you. Power of detachment, power of karmas, power of voice, power to tolerate, power of accommodate, power to accommodate, power of self-talk, power of happiness, power to withdraw, power of emotions, willpower. Thereafter we move, power of giving, power of listening, power of words. And we are here for the yet another program. International Chamber for Service Industry extends a very warm welcome to all of you. And we dedicated during this pandemic, this entire series, which we have come a long way, to teachers and youth, because 1.65 billion children were away from schools, colleges, universities, institutions world over. And B2B post-pandemic should not be business to business. Let's develop more empathy. And it should be back to basics, our basic food, our basic health, our basic happiness, and our basic digital education, e-learning, and children to become more responsible, earn and learn, and sustainable development of the entire world. Tonight at 8 p.m. in our series, every Friday, we have got women empowerment series. So we will be having building confidence in women. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we would be having 92nd program, Ayurveda for Global Wellness with Dr. Parmeshwar Aroraji. Anybody having any question, anything to ask him, send us in advance. You can send me on WhatsApp We will have it covered tomorrow. And we would also offer this gesture to our distinguished speaker of the evening, that he can circulate over there in Canada. If people have got anything specific to ask with regard to chilly winter setting in, if we can do anything, it would be a pleasure. Tomorrow night, like today at 8 p.m., Women Empowerment. Tomorrow we will be taking you to northeast part of India and the Educators Forum and Youth Empowerment. We will be traveling to Meghalaya. And something very interesting I would like to share with all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Like every year, our annual convention is just nearing. We are just 1 month and few days away. North India Pravasi Divas 2022. And this year, because it's a virtual global conference, confluence of the world over speakers, our NRIs, brothers and sisters, and the Corporate for Integrated Development, you will also have a pleasure to listen to our distinguished guest of the evening during the convention, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. We will take his convenience, and then accordingly, we will have him with us maybe on the opening day, because you will have Leh Ladakh, you will have Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh, along with Delhi on this platform. It will be entire North India together on a common platform. Ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make this planet a better place for all of us to live, to share information, and to make this world a better place of harmony, where we all live like Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Shri Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamarthi ji is joining us. This program is going live on the YouTube. You can see in your own time. So you can see his detailed profile, which you can read. Very distinguished career he has got, and a long way. And also, I'm very keen to learn a lot from him regarding Africa, because our chamber has taken a special project to help out the entire African continent, all the 54 countries. How can we do the beaming over there? And we can have some kind of a confluence and collaborations in Africa for the capacity building, handholding of the teachers. So welcome each one of you. Join us, NRIs for Indian Education and Skills series, and our special program every Friday evening, Power of Self. And today we are dedicating to power of being positive. You got to be positive. So with these words, join me in extending a very hearty welcome to Shri Vijay Shastri Kotamarthi ji. Pleasure to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining us all the way. I know it's a very early morning. How chilly Toronto is? How chilly?
Actually, this week on Monday and Tuesday, we had snow. Okay. About 6.5 to 7 centimeters of snow, and it is pretty cold. In fact, yesterday there were winds going at 70 kilometers, and the temperature was about -1, but with wind chill, it was over -8 or -9. So temperatures are very cold right now, and especially if we have to walk, it is tough. So we have to be careful and keep ourselves warm when we are going out. So that's the temperature, Sharmaji. Okay. Thanks for asking. Namaskar to everyone. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening. And let's celebrate the International Day of Physically challenged people. That yes. is how I would call. You're right, Dr. Sharmaji, that disability is, I think UN should think about this particular definition, because everyone, if we are talking about disability, then everyone has some disability or the other. Some people have disability of not listening. Some people have disability of getting angry. So these are all disabilities, if at all we want to call them disabilities. So instead of calling them disabilities, if we call them physically challenged. And certainly, all these things are coming from within. Of course, the mental side of it, what I'm saying about anger and everything is more emotional. But when it comes to physical is something that if in our discussions we have always said that we have to detach our body from the soul. So a body is only a mean of actually it allows you to give the thoughts from within. So body is meant, it only grows with time and eventually it gets destroyed, but it's not the soul that gets destroyed. So whether somebody is physically challenged or not physically challenged, the body can be developed with the mind. So that's one of the things that I'm going to talk today when we are talking about power of being positive and power of positive thinking. That is what is the subject for today. And before I start, Sharma ji, I would like to hear from you, first of all. What do you think is thinking? Because positive thinking will come from thinking. So if you could define what is positive thinking, I would like to hear from you or anybody who would like to say that, and then I will start going in much further into it.
In a very humble way, I feel your world is your thought process. And if you think positive, the world appears to you positive. If you think for the welfare for others, world appears to you beautiful, nice, and you get a kind of feeling. I think it's all thinking, thinking, and thinking. And it is all our thought process which makes this world for us.
That's correct. You're absolutely right, Sharmaji. So everything starts with thinking. So now, in this age, as of now, everyone is thinking that they are busy, they are tired, don't have time, they do not have happiness. They don't admit that, but they want they somehow seek happiness. So all these things are coming because we are not developing our thought process. The power of being positive will be available only when you clear your mind with all the things that you have within. So in case, if at all you have to think positively, first of all, you have to dump out everything that is inside. So the first thing we have to do is remove all those toxic thoughts that are there within the mind, because it's only what you think. You are what you think. There's a saying. And if you think negatively, everything will be negative. And if you think positively, everything will be positive. So how to think positive? Because that's an important aspect. How do you think positive? Thinking positive comes from giving importance to the thought. Everything starts with the thought. So when a thought comes, you have to work on it, and then you have to convert that thought into action. That is how the karma starts. When in the thought process there's a karma, and then when you actually convert it into the action, that becomes the real karma, because then the reaction comes from there. So in order for us to have positive thoughts, we should always think positively. So what positive thinking means? Thinking the right thing. There is nothing like the positive thinking. Positive thinking is thinking right. And negative thinking is not thinking the right thing. Now, so what is right and what is wrong? Everyone has their own definition for what is right and what is wrong. But again, Dharma says that there is there are certain things which are the right things, and you have to do that. So the right thing in order for us to think right is to clear our mind from the thoughts that are coming. So when the thoughts come, the first thing we have to see is, how am I taking this, and how will I react with the person outside? Because eventually the thought, when it's converted into action, will lead to the reaction from the other side. So if you think positive, if your thought is good, then you will communicate good thoughts to others, and thereby they will communicate back the good thoughts to you. So uh, good the thoughts that will come back is based on what thoughts you are communicating. And for instance, these days, there is the thought of fear. Everyone is fearing the coronavirus. So we have to develop ourselves saying that this is something which is related to the body. I have to take care of it. And once I take care of that, I do not have to worry about it and not do anything else. As of now, everyone is in the state of fear. They are fearing that something will happen, and so they are not taking all the other actions that are required to continue their normal life. Similarly, everyone at this point in time, we are in a state where we are thinking that we do not have time. So we do have a lot of time. God has given us a lot of time. And the very fact that, you have come into this world, you will live as long as you have been given the time. And thinking that if you are not going to do something, things will not happen, or world will come to a standstill, is not correct. Because people have come, there are big stalwarts, big scientists who have come into this world, and they have left this world. So everyone has done their part and gone. But if you think that you do not have time, and you are very busy, you are actually causing harm to your body. The positive thoughts will give the body rest. And when the body gets the rest, the inner self will grow, and physically you will be strong. It is important that there is a correlation between the body and the soul. It does not mean that the soul is always distinct and the body is distinct. Yes, they are two different things, but there is a correlation and there is an interaction between the body and the soul. So in order for us to have a good body, we have to have good thoughts. And for instance, the people having blood pressure, it's a sign of anxiety. How is anxiety created? Anxiety is created by the thought. So you have to go or reach a particular place by 5 o'clock and deliver a speech. So if you start thinking, I might be late, the car may not reach, there might be traffic, and I do not know when I reach there, whether I'll reach on time or not. Now, these thoughts will actually pull you back from reaching the place on time, first of all, because whatever you think, most of the time, that becomes the reality, because you are what you think. So it is important that you convert your negative thoughts like anxiety, fear, restlessness, all these things are nothing but your thoughts, which you are giving the you're giving it the required feed in order for it to become stronger and then overcome you, and then that becomes the reality. So for having a positive mind, the most important thing is the peace of mind. How do you get peace of mind? Peace of mind will come provided you give some time to yourself. We do not give any time to ourselves these days. From the time we are getting up till the time we are sleeping, we are so busy. We think we are so busy that we do not have even a moment to think about ourselves. But if you give peace of mind to your body by meditating, that is by sitting in peace, even for 15 minutes. It's not, and meditation does not necessarily mean concentrating on something. It is just bringing your thoughts to rest. That is the purpose of meditation. And the peace of mind will come when you slow down. So you have to think. When you calm down, then your thoughts will come better, and you have to tell yourself that there is ample time in this world, because we do not know how much time we have. I always think that I have ample time in this world, and I will do everything that is possible, and I will never stress out for time. So my request to everybody is, God has given us enough time. So do not think that you do not have time. You have plenty of time, and give your mind the peace that is required. And if you give your mind the peace that is required, then you will certainly get good thoughts. And one more important thing for getting positive thoughts is reduce your pace at which you are doing things. Right now, we are running very fast. We are not going with the time. There is a speed at which the time moves, but we are thinking that we want to move faster than the time. So we we think that we have to achieve something. So I have to somehow get this thing done, and if I do not get this thing done, then something is going to go wrong. And so in this way, what we are doing is, we really do not achieve what we have to achieve. So we have to learn to reduce our pace and adjust our pace with the timeliness of the world. There is a pace at which this world is running, but we are thinking that we are the ones who are controlling the time, and that is the reason we do not have time. So we have to certainly do things, and things will change when you reduce your pace, because then you will think much better. At this point, I'll stop. If you have anything, I'll ask you. Otherwise, I'll continue.
Sure. Thank you very much. Wonderful intro, what you've given. Body can be developed with mind. Everything starts with your thinking, and dump out every toxic thought from yourself. Most important is peace of mind. Meditation brings your thoughts in control, within your control, and we have to reduce our pace. That's what something very meaningful. I've got, I think, time is valuable and it should be utilized wisely for good cause. Shivani Gogai from Assam. Mamta ji is writing from Uttarakhand. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Be yourself. Nancy Sangma, all the way from Meghalaya. Does music help in diverting mind from negative thoughts?
Yes, this music helps you to reduce your thought process. Now, negative thoughts eventually have to be controlled by you. You means that individual. So music will reduce the pace, but it cannot eradicate the negative thoughts. So yes, calm down your mind with the music, with pleasant music. You will be able to calm down your mind, and certainly it will reduce the pace at which the negative thoughts are coming, and it will give you a moment to think and overcome that.
Wonderful. Mamtaji, once you understand how powerful you are within, your your exponentially increases the power and potentiality of everything outside of you.
Very true.
And another thought process has come: save your energy for the tasks which nobody else can do easily, but only you. Another thought: to acquire true self-power, you have to feel beneath no one, too immune to criticism, and be fearless. Anand Mukherjee, I feel the feeling of positive creates happiness vibes. Why people who suffer from depression always have negative feelings and thoughts?
Okay.
Why people
Yes,
who suffer one
sorry.
I'm just trying to read it out. What has she written over here? Deepa Hazarika, why people who suffer from depression always have negative feeling and negative thoughts?
Okay.
Like it is said, yeah, like it is said that, yeah.
I understand what Deepika
Yes,
ji is
yes,
saying. Let me
yes.
say something about that. It's an interesting question, Sharma ji. Depression comes only because of negative thoughts. What is depression? It is you are continuously feeding your mind with negative thoughts, and that negative thoughts is making you feel very low. And when you feel very low, obviously you will feel depressed. So depression is a self-created thing. It is not something that people have. Every individual is born same. It's only over a period of time when as we grow, because of the surroundings and circumstances under which we grow, we actually have certain recordings, or whatever you want to call, certain movements which actually create certain impressions on your mind. And those impressions, unless and until you clear them, and that's why you have to meditate on a daily basis, at least 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, because you will give yourself that particular time. Yes, once you get into that mode of depression, it is very difficult, but you need counseling. And in counseling, what people do is they tell you all positive things and slowly bring you out of depression. So instead of getting a counseling from outside, do the counseling within, and tell yourself that I should reduce my negative thoughts, and gradually you will come out of depression. But it's very difficult for people who already have reached that state. So they definitely need some help, and psychologists and counselors are the ones who can bring them out of depression. But depression is a state of negative thinking.
Very nice. So Claudia Lingua, your question is being answered in this answer. There is another one, Prachi Kalita. Does keeping ourselves busy help us in avoiding the negativity from our mind?
This is Prachi ji, right?
Yes.
Okay. Keeping ourselves busy to avoid things will not relieve us from the problems that we have. So we are avoiding the thoughts and negative thoughts that are coming, and we are allowing them to increase, and we do not want, we want to run away from that. So Prachiji, my suggestion would be that when you have certain thoughts that are coming to you, face them, take them as a challenge, resolve them, and that will give you a much peaceful mind than keeping trying to keep yourself busy and running away from it, because running away from a problem is never the solution of the problem. Facing the problem and resolving it is always the solution.
Okay, great. Well said. We need to remove negativity from our minds to bring positivity. And Anchan Kumar Bora from Guwahati and Devgi. Oh, Bharat Devgi ji. Bharat Devgi. I think it is our Nivedita's mother from Pune.
Yeah, and Bharat is the father.
Father. Bharat ji
Jyoti,
is
Jyoti.
father.
Yeah, Bharat.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jyoti is Nivedita's mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Warm greetings from Julie Subba from Imphal, Manipur. BB Subba
Thanks.
Foundation Group is joining. They all are very happy. Pankaj Tripathi from Gorakhpur, senior consultant, and that is from Delhi. Ishita Shukla from Nagpur. Nishank Maurya, Info Student Group. They are joining from Assam, and from Dolly Barua joining from Tinsukia. Nisha Agarwal, Manisha Chaturvedi, BB Supa Foundation, Nancy Sangma, J. Subha Lakshmi from Chennai, and Shivani Gogai from Guwahati. So, Madam Gurpreet is also making a mention. Depression is a catch 22. You think negative, you feel helpless, you get depressed. When you are depressed, the thoughts tends to be all negative, like a dog chasing its tail. Counseling, music, yoga are important.
Yoga, Gurpreet ji has rightly said. See, yoga actually is it's trains your mind, body, and soul. So it is not just. It's a misinterpretation that yoga is only related to physical exercises. That is the general thought. But yoga actually leads to a complete sync of the mind, body, and soul. And she has rightly said that if you really want to come out of depression or anything, you start, and meditation is also part of the yoga, because you are trying to keep your mind cool. She's absolutely right.
There's another very nice comment, very humorous. Why people who are casual in attitude and happy go type are very positive and hardly have a negative thoughts and approach in their life.
That's the way when you are happy go lucky do that, you are keeping your mind clear. That is what it is, Sharmaji. How do you, when are you happy? When you do not have anything stored in your mind. When the mind, when it is clear and it is not having any negative thoughts, that's the time you will be happy. And that's absolutely rightly said. There's one thing I want to just talk about, how to think, get positively, is you have to change your pattern of thinking, because the pattern of thinking is very important. And if you have got into the thoughts, let's say, usually these days the pattern of thinking is, stress is normal, being busy is normal, um, fear is normal. Actually, all these things have become normal. Who made them normal? We are the ones who have made it normal. So we have to change that pattern of thinking. Everyone has to change their pattern of thinking and say, I'm thinking like this, but it's not like that. Let me think in a different way. And that all these thoughts will come when you'll be able to change your pattern of thinking only when you meditate. Because when you are in silence for the 15 minutes in the morning or in the evening, or at least 15 minutes in the morning, you are analyzing yourself, and that's the time you can see what is your current pattern of thinking and how will you be able to change that pattern of thinking. So that's what I wanted to share, that if you want to have positive thinking, you have to change your pattern of thinking from negative thinking, that is not allowing fear, stress, and other negative things coming into your mind. You have to change your pattern of thinking and say, I have plenty of time in this world. God has given me plenty of time. God has given me plenty of peace. I can do anything. That is how we have to think, and we have to train ourselves. Every individual has to train themselves, and that training comes from meditation, or from being at peace for a few minutes in a day. That the all these things what we are discussing over the past 15 episodes, Sharmaji, is always that we have to train ourselves. We have to keep practicing week after week, whatever we are discussing. If and I'm sure most of our viewers and listeners have been practicing and will continue to practice, because it's only practice that makes a person perfect. Sorry, I'm not able to hear.
Somebody has made a mention that during the day, approximately 60 to 70,000 thoughts cross your mind. By nature, most of the thoughts are negative. You have to put conscious efforts to make them positive.
Well, the thoughts will always come. Okay. And out of the 60,000 thoughts, most of them are coming negative, because these days the vibrations that are coming from outside are negative. So we have to choose the right thoughts and then implement on that. That is positive thinking, allowing the thoughts that are right to be thought of and implemented on. So even if you get 60,000 thoughts, 59,999, drop them and catch the one positive thought and work on it.
Okay, great. I think that takes care of. Thank you very much. Let's roll to our weekly, share something about Canada, because it's already 8 minutes past 6 p.m.
Okay. Canada, like I mentioned to you earlier,
the weather part.
Weather part is slowly. This year, actually, the snow has come little earlier. Generally, the snow comes towards after 15 December, closer to, I'm talking about Toronto, where I live, closer to Christmas, because a white Christmas is always what people look for, and we all eagerly look for a white Christmas. But God has been kind to us this year, that He has already started us giving the white snow, which is beautiful. It makes all the trees look beautiful, the environment look beautiful, and everything right now is very, very nice, except people who again want to complain about the weather. They will say that it is so cold, it is so. I look at the positive side and I say this snow is required for people who want to go for skiing, people who want to do snowboarding, and it is required for many of the industries that actually are thrive on this one, the vineyards and the grapes, and most of the industries that wait for the snow. It is good that it is snowing. So that's about Canada. But I would like to discuss few things about Western Canada today, especially the province of Alberta, and in that a place called Banff. That is one of the beautiful places that tourists come all across the world, Sharmaji, and anyone who is intending to come to travel to Canada, they should look into coming to Calgary. There are the Rocky Mountains, and then take a trip, not now during winter, but definitely during summer. People do drive through the Rockies from Calgary to Vancouver, which is about a 12 hours drive. But all through the Rocky Mountains, you can travel beautiful sceneries you can see. And there is also a train that takes you from Vancouver to Edmonton, all through the Rockies. So that's another thing that people can enjoy. And as of now, vaccination wise and coronavirus wise, Canada has been very good. We have been managing ourselves very well by God's grace. You know, we do not have any variants in in the coronavirus that has come across Europe and all other countries. Fortunately, we are managing well, and most of the people have been vaccinated. That is another reason. Could be that variants are not coming, and the government of Canada has been strict about checking the people who are coming within, and even after they come by quarantine. So we are taking all our precautions, and as of now, Canada is doing very well. And this is a good time for anyone who is also thinking of coming for students' education. So if they want to join any courses, they can still join one of the semesters and continue.
Wonderful. Thank
Anyone
you.
has any questions on Canada, I can answer them.
I have taken, if there's any Christmas guy, he who is not courageous, I can feel overthinking creates a mess. Somebody is writing, I feel overthinking makes a mess.
Yeah, it's overthinking is giving too many thoughts in your mind. So which one will you really act upon? That's correct. It will be a mess because you have to think one thought and act on it and act correctly. Then you will be able to.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think rest all is the compliments. So
thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming early in the morning, and look forward to having you with us next Friday at 5:30 p.m. once again. Thank you. Namaskar, and wish you great day.